Let's go through 3 street photography tricks for better photos if you're new to street photography. Our first trick is very simple because you don't need to move. This is the camper. Finding a spot where you like the light or the composition is a great way to start finding shots that you enjoy. But also settling on a spot in a busy area means you can allow for subjects to naturally walk through the frame rather than chasing down subjects to shoot them. If you're in quite a quiet area, you might be waiting a while for someone to walk through the frame. But if you're in a busy street and you find a composition that you like, just wait there for a few moments and you'll have a few different subjects walking through the frame. This one's particularly useful if you're not interested in bothering other members of the public, and if you find a good spot with nice light, make use of it, stay there for a few minutes, get some shots and move on. Trick number 2, we're going to be using a combination of AF tracking and high speed burst mode. This is going to be particularly useful if you're shooting in a busy area with lots of subjects moving around and you're happy to be moving around grabbing different shots. The first part of this trick is going to be setting up an AF tracking button. On my A7C, I just use the AF on button on the back of the screen. I actually have a video detailing how to do this up here. But on your camera, just set up an AF tracking custom button on the back of your camera so that whenever you're pointing at a subject, you can just hold that button and you'll begin tracking. This will help you to make sure you don't lose focus on fast moving subjects. Then part 2 of this trick is going to be putting your drive mode into high speed burst mode. Different cameras have different frame rates that they can capture at in high speed burst mode, but it's going to be a lot better than doing single frame shooting with fast moving subjects. The combination of both the AF tracking and the high speed burst mode is going to mean you're getting plenty of shots, and the majority of them are going to be nice and sharp. If you're trying to shoot with a f1.8 lens, it might be worth stopping down just a little bit to say f3.5, f4, a little bit higher, to make sure that you don't lose focus on subjects when they get too close. And trick number 3, this one is going to be very useful for people that don't want any conflict with the public when they're shooting street photography. And this is going to be pretending that you are shooting video while you're walking around shooting photography. Ideally, in this situation, you're going to want to put your camera into a silent shooting mode. So if you are on a DSLR, this might be a bit trickier. Some DSLRs do have a quieter mode, but if you're on mirrorless, this is going to be very simple. Put it into silent mode. You can incur some rolling shutter if you're moving a bit too quickly, but besides that, it's going to be perfectly fine. Then a lot of this is going to be acting like you're shooting video. So if you're walking around holding your camera either vertically or horizontally, just doing that slow ninja walk, pretending you're shooting video, but the whole time you're really just shooting photography of whoever might walk through the frame that you like the look of. This trick is going to be much easier to accomplish if you use it in combination with trick number 2. So using that high speed burst mode and AF tracking along with moving around, sort of pretending you're shooting video, you're going to be able to shoot a lot of people very easily and making sure all of your frames are nice and sharp. This trick is typically a lot more effective when you're shooting on a wider focal length lens and you're shooting in kind of busier, crowded spaces. If you're shooting on something like a 50 or something a bit longer and the area is a bit quiet, it might be difficult to do this more convincingly. But in busier streets where you can sort of just walk along pretending you're doing a nice wide walking shot, you're going to get a lot of shots. And those are our 3 street photography tricks for beginner street photographers. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Drop a like down below if you have, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.